Hello and welcome to Wake and Jake, a special edition because myself and David are joined by Jolly Olive as we are doing a tier list. That's right, get your clicks in, YouTube. And actually, I think we're going to be doing a fun thing with this, kind of leading up to the baseball season because we can do them by position. And I always love this game, especially with the position we're starting out with because I stumbled into it a couple years ago. That I thought the position was as strong as it's ever been. Third base, so we brought in the one guy in our company that played third base in the big leagues. Jolly Olive, how are you?
I'm good, man. I'm happy to be here. Yeah, we got some fun content coming on Wake and Jake. I was very happy that you drew up that idea. Creative genius, Jake Storielli, content mind. And what a way to start, because I think it's not the most potent position, but I think it's a very good one with a lot of fun categories that we drew up. And we're saving the fireworks for a couple episodes down the line, but this is a good way to tease the appetite of the viewership.
We'll see what the people say. If you, we're always open to feedback. If you've got some different ways you want us to lay it out, we'll get the tier list on the screen. These are the categories we're going to start with. If you've seen us do this before, you know it can sort out a little differently by the end.
And thanks for subscribing.
And thank you
Appreciate
for subscribing and prescribing. We'll start out with the S tier on top. I don't know. The kids are all about that. I still don't even really get it. Is that star? Do we know what the S
Super?
Whatever. Tier below that is Hall of Fame question mark. Below that, wow, 3B is really good. Below that, I got $70 million. Below that, Trevor Plouffe. Below that, could be replaced by Matt Chapman, an interesting category. Why am I at third base? And your final category, not on the rest of the list. I'm going to get ahead of this really quickly.
Whoa.
Can we just put the Oakland A's logo on not on the rest of the list?
Yeah, I think that's safe.
I think we talked about Aledmus Diaz. Is he there or the other Diaz?
I think it's Abraham Toro.
Abraham Toro and Aledmus Diaz are going to split some time there. Miguel Andujar is going to split some time there.
Who is the kid?
As currently constructed.
Didn't it, Jordan Diaz had a 3-homer game, I think, against the Yankees.
He did.
So, hey, let's go Oakland. And for a lot of these, well, you know, shout out to Brent Rooker, Zach Galoff, and Ryan Noda, and Shea Langeliers, because those guys will get some love. But
Pinocchio's guy.
This isn't that moment.
No.
Where do we want to begin? I don't think it's just top to bottom, because that means 40 minutes in, we're talking about...
We're sorting out.
I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, so I'm not even...
Good. I'm glad you didn't finish it.
How about this? I'll throw Jolly on the bus. In 40 minutes, I don't know if you want to hear Jolly ranting and raving about Michael Garcia.
Wow.
But maybe you will.
I like the upside.
Jolly likes him a lot.
Got to lift the ball a little bit, but otherwise, everything's there.
Let's do... How about why am I at 3B?
I think that's a great place to start, Jake.
Because there's some good ball players here.
Oh, yeah.
I think some confused ball players. And I will start out with me and BBD's Yankees really quickly.
Oh, okay.
Because David John LeMahieu is a good ball player.
Yeah.
He's also getting up there in years. He's had a couple injuries in recent years. He won Gold Gloves at second base. He plays a fine third base. He is good with the glove. His arm strength is not that of a third baseman.
Sure.
And his body type might surprise you with the 6'4" frame that's how he ended up at second base.
Right.
We're out neutral party, Jolly, because me and BBD have some emotions there. Anything with DJ?
David Justice LeMahieu. I've always really liked him. Batting title in both leagues is always really cool. Not a lot of guys have done that. But yeah, he'd never, ever really fit in my brain as a third baseman. I know that he's, a utility guy, and the Yankees had that infielder logjam problem last year. It is weird that is the area that he ended up in, but I think he's fine there. I don't think you're upset about that, especially considering what the third baseman situation has been the past 2 years for the Yankees. I was told not to say the name, so I'm not going to say the name. But there are a lot of other guys, including a former Yankee, that also fit in this category, because my mind went to IKF pretty much immediately when we started devising this tier list, because he fits in there perfectly, because you can kind of put him anywhere, and he also feels like a second baseman.
Yeah, this is I'm already stumbling into we're going to have to add a tier in a little bit, but we'll get there. I did for a second want to put IKF next to Trevor Plouffe's name. Again, that's something for me.
Yeah. You want to just start there?
But let's not do that.
And his gold glove is at third base too, but it's 2020. So
I have another just like quick why am I at third? And DJ, like I'm fine with him there, but it just will always feel a little weird that he's the Yankees' third baseman. Not a guy I think we want to linger on. Matt Vierling is the Tigers' third baseman, and he's played a lot more outfield than third base. Why is that the third base plan?
Handsome.
Nice player, figured some things out.
Yeah, didn't he put some stats together? But
yeah, on the whole, the season isn't impressive, but he's playing. He's an MLB guy. I don't know why he's at third base. That is more Matt Vierling talk than anyone signed up for.
Yeah, I mean, dangerously close to another Trevor Plouffe type. Let's put IKF next to Matt Vierling and Kevin Biggio.
Yeah,
that was kind of the whole point. I mean, Kevin Biggio, it's been a bit of a whirlwind in Toronto.
Yeah.
He was with one of those guys. He was kind of a guy. He kind of fell out, and then end of last year he came back. He started getting on base like a madman again.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of Kevin Biggio. You always look back to that 2019 where it was like, oh, they have another second generation superstar that's just going to be great for them, and he's really the biggest one that hasn't clicked. And I don't know, he's another one that just kind of plays everywhere and seems like an athletic guy. So why do you have him at third base when you can have him up the middle? That's pretty much all I have on him. But I want to pivot us if that's okay.
Let's pivot us. Final Kevin Biggio note. The second half of last season, 54 games, his on-base percentage, 404.
Really?
So the other numbers are light, but that's what this guy was supposed to be.
Yeah, I mean, you can work with that, Jake.
So, and there's some funny stuff there with, I mean, remember they brought in Simeon, and he had his monster year.
Sure.
And I don't know, if you're Kevin Biggio, you're not taking the fall for that. But I don't know. It's just the interesting road of baseball. If a 28-year-old Kevin Biggio gets on at a 400 clip this year, be an interesting player next year. Where do you want to go, Sal?
I want to go to the category that I'm most proud of thinking of. It's the I got $70 million category, and there's 3 guys that go here. This is one of the only prescribed rows that we have. Everything else is kind of like, we're going to think about it, do some opinionated talk. But there's 3 guys that go here. One of them is Key Brian Hayes, who I absolutely adore. I think he's a great ball player. He should probably have 2 platinum gloves by now. He plays an amazing third base. He finally got some due last year, got his first gold glove, and he had a good offensive year. People were kind of waiting for his breakout. When is he finally going to turn that offensive corner? He was an above-league average hitter last year, and he played incredible defense. I think he's on a good contract for the Pirates, which is 2 ideas that usually don't go together. No. I'm sorry, Pirates fans. But the other 2 names that fill out this list are fun because I just don't think they're on anybody's radar as $70 million third baseman. And those 2 guys are Ryan McMahon for the Colorado Rockies, who, they're not afraid to spend. They've spent before. And then Yoan Moncada, who has become quite the saga for the Chicago White Sox. Do any of those 3 names do anything for you?
So I have talked about the latter 2 for potential Yankees on Talking Yanks a lot this year.
It's true.
For potential value. I think Yoan Moncada, talk about if you believe in change of sceneries in sports.
Sure.
Everything we've heard about the White Sox. Switch hitter that is a guy that had, 1 or 2 massive seasons?
Yeah, I mean,
maybe just 1.
2019, he was a very good player.
2019, which, power, you always get a little skeptical, and that looks like a little bit of an outlier power-wise. But he was just supposed to be, good. And, I mean, in 2021, 375 on base.
Right.
From third base, back in the day, he was supposed to be able to play some second, too. The White Sox signed him to a team-friendly extension that now doesn't look as team-friendly.
Right.
That I was wondering if he was going to be a bonus piece in a Dylan Cease trade. That, hey, you got to take a little money.
I like that idea.
Off of our plate. So when I was dreaming Yankee trades, sure, give us Dylan Cease and a utility Yoan Moncada. So DJ LeMahieu, who I just put in the why am I playing third base,
right,
could only play some third base. And maybe Yomankata gets a little bit of that Yankee magic. That hasn't happened
Jake.
yet. Hopefully, BBD hits the passing button. The other one that I daydreamed was Ryan McMahon, because Ryan McMahon is a lefty, which us Yankee fans have been adamant about. You mentioned Key Bryan's defense.
Right.
Ryan McMahon sucks to follow Nolan Arenado, because otherwise I think we'd be talking about Ryan McMahon more.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Between being the Arenado replacement, Key Bryan, and existing... people don't realize how good a third baseman he is.
And I'm somewhat a reverse Coors effect at this point. Ryan McMahon has played 4 seasons with 100-plus games.
Yeah.
In all 4 of them, he has 20-plus homers.
You can work with that.
He technically has never had a positive OPS plus.
Yeah.
Because Coors Field hurts you more in OPS plus than it helps.
Sure.
Unless you're Todd Helton. Congrats on going to the Hall of Fame.
Hey, nice. Timely. I will say this.
Yeah.
Home OPS on his career, just quick, gander stat, 835.
Sure.
Road OPS in his career, 661. So Coors might be a bit more of a prevalent factor for him. It is interesting when you look at his page that this is a guy that got a $70 million contract. I mean, not to be, rude or blunt or anything, but to put it blankly, yeah, it's a bit surprising that he's in this category. And these 3 guys, any one of them could still be a great third baseman, and they're already getting paid like they are, and I really only think I believe in one of them.
Yeah, I mean, Key Bryan's young.
Yeah.
I'm DJ LeMahieu, like we mentioned, and I've done this a lot on different platforms. I think Ryan McMahon could potentially benefit more at home from a Yankee Stadium than Coors Field with the short porch. And I think his road stats could be boosted because he's not dealing with the road effect of Coors Field of dealing with nastier sliders. So I don't know. Do I watch Ryan McMahon every day? No, not. I moved away from Denver. I got off the beat. But I think all of those guys could. I was gonna say sneak out an all-star game. You can't say that about Moncada right now.
You can't say that.
I think you could say that about McMahon, but that's more so Rocky's roster.
If they just need a guy to make it, Key Bryan could be the same deal.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good, and we like him.
I like him. I have another guy who might fit this category.
Okay.
His current contract is not worth $70 million, but he will surpass $70 million in career earnings because he will get at least $4 million after. Just Eugenio Suarez has a $66 million contract.
Okay.
If you've got him higher than this tier.
Well, I wanted to do Wow, third base is really good next, actually. And I actually
and you
really...
think he might be
I think
there.
he's on a bubble of these 2 tiers.
I think he's there because if you, Jake, you and I, we both like to butter knife.
Sure.
We like to hop on Baseball Reference and do a little bit of butter knifing. 5 years is a long time, Jake. Yeah. We were different people in 2019. In fact, we didn't even know each other.
Better.
I was aimless in college, not even a YouTuber.
I'm going to compliment you in a second, but keep going.
Okay. If I take Eugenio Suarez since 2019, the last 5 years of play, he averages 30 homers a season with a 110 OPS plus, and he plays a nice third base. And the Arizona Diamondbacks just acquired him for basically nothing in a trade package. I'm sure
for being willing to take the rest of his contract.
Right, which is not even that much money. And he is a guy that I look at and I go, I wish he was on my team. He's incredibly likable, and he's good at the position. And I don't even know if he's top 10, and you really like him at third base still. So that's why I put him there.
Super comfortable with
that
him.
Helps both sides of your argument.
Okay.
The fact that he was traded essentially for not much.
Yeah.
He plays almost every day. Remember, they threw him at shortstop for a season in Cincy. But it's guaranteed power. He's a threat. The Mariners essentially did move on because of contract and strikeouts. I think we need to wait.
Okay.
Because I like both sides of the argument. And my worry for Eugenio is when we start doing Wow 3B is really good.
Is it going to get fat?
I think
that could be a big category.
I think the company you keep for him, unfortunately, because I like him too, looks closer to 70 mil than Wow 3B.
We'll have to see what those 2 groups are looking like.
Let's see. My compliment to Jolly is, and you mentioned not knowing each other in 2019, and I told you I always have eyes on you. I saw Jolly hold the door for someone at Dunkin' Donuts this morning. So look at that.
Wow.
Look at that. Nice guy alert.
You were behind me?
While we continue this, go to DraftKings Sportsbook. Wow. They're talking about 4 teams this weekend with one goal to go to Las Vegas. And DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. If you bet $5, you get $200 in bonus bets in on the action. It's a big weekend. So download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. New customers use promo code BAKERS. Bet $5 on any wager. Get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code BAKERS only at DraftKings Sportsbook. We did a lot of streams. We're placing some DraftKings bets on there. Get them in this weekend. Last weekend with 2 football games. How about this?
I'm listening.
Let's start getting to some juice.
Okay.
We've been avoiding the top.
I think that's how we can declutter.
I just saw thick neck Josh Young. What do I do with him? God, he's good.
I know where to put him.
70 mil? Let's who's how about this, Jolly? You want clickbait? Here we go, socials. Jolly Olive.
Yeah.
Who's the best third baseman?
In baseball right now, if we do blank, just F4, it's Austin Riley, which is really fun. And I find this interesting because we talked about this before.
Okay.
Austin Riley, I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame category because he hasn't played that much, but his last 3 seasons, I think, are of the best third baseman in baseball. Offensively, defensively, he made incredible strides, and he plays for a Braves team where I think if he's on any other team, he is the definitive best player, and he gets way more love. But at the same time, Hall of Fame is for the guys that have been doing it for like 5-10 years at this point. The Machados, the Jose Ramirez fits in that category for me as well. So S tier, you asked me, point blank, I'm saying Austin Riley, I think, is the best third baseman in baseball right now.
Wasn't ready for that.
Okay.
So if you had a franchise,
Jake, 18 WAR in the
which
past
might
3
happen.
seasons, by the way. 18.
Contracts do not matter. I say Jolly put the best third baseman on the field. You'd pick Austin Riley.
Right now, at this juncture, I would take Austin Riley. I watch him play a lot, Jake.
I know. He's really good.
I watch a ton
I
of
really
Austin
like
Riley
him.
baseball.
I love Young Thick.
I don't think he does anything poorly.
He's finished top 7 in the MVP
3 years in a
the
row.
last 3 seasons.
And I think he's going to get one eventually. He's only 27, Jake.
I know.
We haven't even really seen his best ball yet.
It's tough for me because I extremely value defense at the third base position.
Okay.
He is good.
He made huge strides.
Quality.
He's made huge strides. He's good at not even near liability over there, even probably a plus.
He's
I
a
think
plus.
there's
I'd
an
say that
argument.
too.
For me, it's really tough because we're surrounded by guys who have arguments for the best to ever play the position. Arenado, Machado. Manny's numbers lower than I thought last year, huh?
Sure, yeah. That's kind of why I didn't.
That was a little surprising.
I think there was like a dreadful April.
I think he's perfect for S tier
And
just
injury.
because of the Hall of Fame category. That's really where I'm at.
Well, I think I thought there would be more of a. Well, I think Nolan still has an argument. Even he had a quote unquote down year last year.
Yeah.
And I think his numbers still ended up in the fine place. I mean, if you like guaranteed MVP votes, I could throw Jose Ramirez in your face.
True.
Switch hitting.
Yeah.
I think he provides a speed element that Austin Riley does not have. 28 swipes for Jose Ramirez last year. I know lineup protection, quote unquote, doesn't matter, but talk about 2 guys in different worlds.
Yeah. Complete different worlds. And he's a baseball reference page I go to a lot just because he's a really fun player to watch. I wish I got to watch him more. I don't watch a lot of AL Central ball. I'm going to be honest. And he's a guy that really, truly...
You're missing out.
He does.
That's
do
where
it
the
all,
good ball is,
apparently.
they say.
And he does have that X factor of a little bit better defense and speed over Riley. So I give you credit to that argument.
Let's put J-Ram up top.
Okay.
And I might even...
I was just saying, this is our list.
Right.
I like both of them up there.
I was going to say for now, why don't we do that?
Okay.
Leave them both there for now, at least.
And it might even help, because like you mentioned, Austin Riley's got a long way to go to the potential Hall of Fame.
Right. I don't have him on Cooperstown
where
yet.
Nolan and Manny have done a lot of their bidding already.
That's where I'm
That
at.
let's throw them on the Hall of Fame line.
Manny is...
Man, do people love debating those two.
I know.
Manny finds himself on some wild lists because it's oddly... Even his down years are oddly productive.
Yeah.
Like I just said, last year wasn't good for Manny. He did have 30 home runs.
Yeah.
I think when you sort home runs, like since Judge has come in the league, I think Machado's like third. I think it's Judge, Olsen, Machado.
Why don't I do that for you right now?
You're more than welcome to.
Judge, Olsen, Schwarber, Arenado, JD Martinez, Machado.
So
Top 6.
there goes that argument that those two, who are regarded as two of the best glovemen ever, are also two of the top 5-6 home run hitters since 2017 or so.
Jake, can I be crazy for a second?
Yeah.
Is Bregman in that category?
I'm between that and wow, third base is really good for him. Only because third base is so good, I feel like he never gets ranked in like a top 5 list.
Here's what I'll say.
Okay.
35 WAR before he's 30.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
It's a
We
lot.
just dug in with the hater siding. We dug into some Astros, and you look at Altuve and Bregman's career WAR. Bregman.
I think Bregman is
on a path
in that
World
echelon.
Series consistent.
He's on the path. The reason he would not be is not about his on-field stuff, and I think it'll be sorted out what they do about that team by the time we're even talking about it with them.
I think I have one more qualm, and again, this starts to sort.
Jake, tell me your qualms.
Wow, 3B is really good in Hall of Fame. In one game, or even a season, if I'm building a team, well, it gets tricky because how are you building your team, blah, blah, blah. I think it's tough for me to put Bregman above Devers.
Oh.
I know you lose defense. Devers put in work defensively. He's still...
I don't know, Jake.
I can't give him... I think he was average. I feel like last year he kind of took a baby step back. Bregman can be a plus defensively. But hitting-wise...
He's a monster. Jake, I'll say this.
Why are you going to say that?
I think Devers is a DH by the time he's 30.
So
I don't
that's
know
an
how
interest-
much longer he's a third baseman.
It's an interesting part of the argument.
If his age 30 season is the first year he is, he'll have put in 10 years
Right.
at third.
That would be
Right.
the counter. I mean,
Right.
he is... Rafael Devers just turned 27.
Mm-hmm.
So even with that, 27, 28, 29, 30, he could have 4 more years as a third baseman.
Yeah.
And what will his WAR be at?
Well, right now he's at 18. So he would need, to match Bregman, he would need 20 WAR in the next 4 seasons, essentially.
4 times 4, 16, a big one or two. He could get there, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I did open this up by saying I do value the defense.
I have him at the top of, wow, third base is really good.
Let's we can do it for now. Let's put
For
him
now.
in. Wow, third base is really good.
Let's see how it
Because if you
shakes
see
out.
Rafael Devers on that line, you know what you would say? Wow, 3B is really good.
Tell you what, and I'll compromise too. We'll put Bregman there as well.
And let's
And
see
then
what it looks like.
by the end, I think one of them graduates.
One of them will be up there.
I do have my Red Sox fans in my head right now, and they
We
get
have Red Sox and Astros
they
below
get
the
very
top 2.
my guys.
Yeah.
The
So
more-
one of them's got to go up.
I gotta be honest, just looking at the list, when I'm seeing those two listed there, Bregman is the one that I feel worse about, like being on that.
We'll
line.
circle back.
That's just my gut instinct. The second I moved it down to there,
I guess I like talking about bold on a player's page because that means you really stood out amongst your peers.
Devers says doubles.
Devers has 1 season with doubles. Bregman has 1 season with walks. Total bases is actually a sneaky impressive one. I don't know. It's part of the mental exercise. We have them on there for now. I think we can circle back.
Do you want to do some easier ones? We've been kind of torturing ourselves a little bit because I have some really easy ones to just fire off. Gunnar Henderson, wow, third base is really good.
Yes.
Easily.
Right?
I'm going to throw that in there.
How nuts is that?
He's already, he's at that echelon already. And I think he's only going to get better. Eventually, we're going to put him in higher categories.
Have the Orioles given him $70 million yet?
They should.
He probably tried.
Just throw it at him.
They've probably tried.
He might be saying to himself, why am I at third base?
I also have
a little bit,
but that's not where we put that tier.
It's different ballpark. I also have Josh Young there. Wow, third base is really good. Oh, a bit of a huff.
Do we know?
That's true. I mean, 23 homers and a fourth place rookie of the year and an all-star nod. He struck out a ton. That is a problem. He's also he's a young guy.
Career
a common issue with young guys.
Career 148 games.
Yeah, it's
255, 301, 760 OPS. And
Jake.
you want to put him on the same line as Devers Bregman?
Well, you can kind of say the same thing for Gunnar, though. Gunnar has one season, right? It's a really good season.
Gunnar has one season.
He won Rookie of the Year, so it's a different plateau. And I think I have a little bit of World Series-itis because I watched a lot of Josh Young in October, and I was impressed. I thought he was a very good player.
I'm adding a new category.
They're
monsters, dude, but you can't.
So they're getting their own.
If Josh Young has a league average season next year, which happens in baseball.
It does.
And he's on the same line as Bregman and Devers, and I'll say the same for Gunnar. I don't believe that for either of them.
Sure.
But also, there's a time when Yon Moncada probably would have been, wow, 3B is really good.
Okay, so what do we want to call it? Because I feel like it's really just those two that are the outliers.
Yeah, would anyone else be with them? I don't
think so. Should we call it like not Chap?
Royce Lewis?
Royce Lewis, he took a while to get
You're worried about injuries, but that's a top prospect. And when he played last year, he was one of the best players in the AL Central.
Is the category...
He was good.
Maybe that category is like stoked to see one more year or something along the lines of that phrasing.
I'm interested in that.
I think that applies to him, Gunnar, and Royce Lewis. By the way, Josh Young basically went 0 for the last 9 games of last year, and there was an injury at one point. Before that stretch, 279, 326, an 820 OPS on the season. Literally, just 0 for his last 9 games, and then the playoffs.
I could read you Miguel Andujar's 2018.
Don't say that.
Guys can put together a year.
Okay.
Below, wow, third base is really good. I think we add a row.
I have it unnamed right now.
I would name it...
The future of third base. Feels kind of ball.
It's a little ball.
Yeah.
One more year. I kind of like where BBD was.
What about you should extend me right now? Because you should
asking for an extension
How about
right
this?
now.
Turns down $70 million.
Okay, I like that. Turns down
$70 million, and maybe that's Eugenio.
Yeah.
No, he wouldn't turn.
He would not turn that down. That's insane.
He took $66 million.
So okay,
but now
we quickly place Gunnar, Josh Young, and who am I looking for?
Josh Young, Gunnar Henderson, and Royce Lewis. Man, he would turn that down.
He's really young, I think.
He would turn that down.
Yeah. Because I believe in all three of those guys. That's what that category means.
But at the major league level, you have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I've got an interest.
Does I got 70 mil change to I took 70 mil?
I kind of like that. Yeah, I took 70 mil.
That feels.
That feels like stealing.
A shot. That feels a little.
I got 70 mil. You're right. We play nice here.
Gunnar. Wow, I put him on. Wow, 3B is really good. They're all kids. They're all good. I've got a sneaky one that I know we wanted to be cute with, and it could be another ad category, but that gets scary.
I don't know if we can add another category.
If the Reds offered Ellie De La Cruz $70 million, would he accept it?
I think he should. He lit the league on fire when he came up for the first month. Those numbers landed in a pretty tough place. Like, really tough strikeout numbers.
They did. And I was I ended up being anti-Ellie last year because everyone wanted to talk about him while Matt McClain
Spencer Steer
mopped him.
Yeah.
I have kind of just all those Reds potentially just saying, why am I at third base? Because all of them, I think, for different reasons, are confused why why they would be playing third base.
Is Steer not a natural? Yeah, I guess not.
He might be.
None of
There's been a
them
lot
kinda
of first base for him.
I'm okay with that.
think
To
he's
put all the
been-
Reds there.
Hey, what's Max Muncy thinking?
I'm thinking third base is really good. He's been doing it.
I think you're probably right.
He's been doing it. He's earned it.
I think you're probably right.
We're not a batting average
It's a
group,
different world,
you know?
but
He does everything
you're
else
probably
great.
right. Max Muncy, get up there. Good for Max Muncy.
Yeah.
Um,
Where does Matt Chapman land? We have a Matt Chapman.
turns down
candidate.
$70 million.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, easy.
that's perfect.
Yes.
That's all he's been doing.
Jake, we did it.
That's all he's been
We
doing.
did it.
Matt Chapman and the kids.
Nick Madrigal is why am I at third base. Currently listed as the Cubs' third baseman.
Okay,
Nick
gotcha. I
Madrigal is
couldn't even pick him out. I'm not
wondering
gonna
why
lie.
he's at third base. Haven't seen us in the same room.
If
Is
we
that
want-
Patrick Wisdom next to him?
Yeah,
I
Patrick
don't know if
Wisdom's
he
there
even
too.
Goes up here.
I don't
Although
know, he
saw
might not have a
I saw
place.
a Cubs fan excited for him.
I don't.
Yeah.
Today. Oh, let's put him on Trevor Plouffe.
Yes, he's Trevor Plouffe.
He is Trevor Plouffe.
He looks a little like
Kind of
him.
looks like him. Power hitting third baseman.
All right,
Jolly, I've got one that I think you might need to be the judge and jury on.
oh boy.
Isaac Paredes.
Oh, not where I thought you
He
were going.
was nasty last year.
Jake, he was
And
very
the glove
good.
was good.
Where the hell do you put him?
First off, I always think about what if the Tigers didn't make that Austin Meadows trade and they just saw him through, because
They
that's
have
their
Matt
best
Vierling
hitter.
at third base right now.
their best hitter. If he
Because
stays.
a 24-year-old third baseman hit 31 homers, had an 840 OPS,
31.
got MVP votes. He will be 20. He turns 25 in February.
I mean, he's the same, in my opinion, if we're doing this game. 24 years old, just had his first great season. He is in the...
Would he turn down 40?
But
70
would
mil?
he?
I don't
But
think he
would.
would. But
That's
he,
the problem. But would he?
I think he might, though.
Then let's
I don't
do it.
know. Let's put him there.
Let's put him there.
He doesn't fit the other ones. He
No.
deserves respect, man.
He deserves
He
respect.
was a top prospect.
Yeah.
He was with the Tigers, did bad.
Yep.
Figured it out at age 24. Yes, he can be lumped
Your
with
best
Royce
years,
Lewis, Gunnar,
hypothetically-
Young. How old's Young?
Young is 25. He just was 25. He's 26. So he fits there. He gets that.
I mean, he's done more than Josh Young.
Yeah, technically.
And he was a higher prospect at one point.
Yeah.
So I think if he has a good agent, he turns down 70 million. God, that category looks awesome.
Yeah, and that wasn't even there
I want
at
to
the
be
start.
in that category.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Is Alec Boehm Trevor Plouffe?
Yes.
I disagree.
Or he's why am I at third base?
I disagree again.
Okay. Do you like him?
What have the Phillies done this offseason? They signed Aaron Nola. Yeah.
They retained Nola.
They've been in on a lot of free agents.
No.
Yep.
Don't say it.
I have him as could be replaced by Matt Chapman.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. What is the first thing you think of when you think of the shortcomings of Alec Boehm?
Defense.
What is the first thing you think of when you think of why Matt Chapman is worth the money?
Defense.
That's my argument.
I think they're essentially same age.
Who
Chapman
else?
A little older.
I'm looking at pictures right now. Who else is in the could be replaced by Matt? Is it Alec Boehm and JD Davis? Because I wanted to lump them together anyways.
Alec Boehm, JD Davis. I don't think it happens, but Brett Beatty goes there for me too.
Okay. I mean,
I have
rude jokes going through my head that I'm not going to make, but yes,
hell?
whoever you want on the Mets should be on this list.
I have
The picture I have on my sheet, I don't know if that's Vientos or Beatty. I think that's
it's Beatty.
Vientos.
It's Beatty.
Okay.
That's Beatty. I assembled the guys. It's Beatty.
Jake.
I have Luis Urias there too, currently
Mark
listed
Vientos
as the
likes us, I think.
Mariners,
Mariners third
baseman.
baseman. Okay.
So you just hurt his feelings.
So let's put Urias up there in his Red Sox uniform, famously.
Yep.
Um,
That all looks right to me.
yeah, it would be a Phillies move. I like a little fear from you as a Mets fan.
I mean, that's where I'm at. Back-to-back NLCS appearances. You got to do something to make the team better.
I may push for Boehm to go to why am I at 3B because I think if he was doing those stats elsewhere,
But then where do you put him? Is he your DH?
I think he could be a first baseman. Like, if you can play third base.
Played a lot
Bryce
of
Harper's
first
your
base
first
before
baseman.
Harper made
Bryce
the
Harper.
move.
Right. And that's why he's saying, why am I at third base? It's a DJ LeMahieu argument a little bit.
But if you put Bohm at first, it's either
These offensive numbers aren't a first baseman you're happy with. Now, would he improve with the easier, in air quotes, position at third? Like, Glaber moved back to second and was good. Always talking about the Yankees.
what I have is that if he's not your third baseman, he's not on your team.
Is he a guy who should move to the outfield?
You got to play him for him to be valuable. You can't move him to the outfield because the corner outfield positions are already crowded.
Team can't.
Bryce Harper's your first baseman, and you have 3 different DHs. He's your third baseman.
I'll leave him there. I don't know how much of the argument it's worth. It's a guy who had 50 extra base hits last year in his age 26 season. Technically got no WAR because his defense hurts him. Where, if Matt Chapman has those numbers,
Which, like,
he would have like a 5.5 WAR season.
Yeah.
So
that's what it is.
I don't know. I can leave it there. I don't love it because Bohm does feel like a part of that team, but he also could feel like not a part of that team quickly.
Yeah.
Like how
Rhys Hoskins
it
was the heart of that team.
It would be a shocking move, yes, but like a shocking move, I can see a world where it happens. The Phillies seem like they've wanted to make one big move.
Yeah.
Hey,
So we're getting down in the nitty gritty here, a little bit.
We got to make an Eugenio choice. Oh, I forgot to put Jamer and Wyman at third base.
Jamer.
yeah, Jamer. I mean, he's playing first, but the whole Reds thing is funny.
Yeah,
all of
just
them.
all the Reds. If they end up
You
at
could-
third,
You could
they're
wake
like,
up at the
"Let's-"
end of the year and there's 5 Reds players that could play 120 games and have an 800 OBS at third base.
How much did Jamer get?
For 345.
So not 70 million.
He actually got a light deal. We were talking about how Stroman's the first contract we've seen that was kind of a bargain.
I teased this and said we shouldn't do this, but here we are. What do you want to do with Michael Garcia? Trevor Plouffe?
I have him a little bit at why am I at third base, maybe. He's very athletic. He's very fast. And his offensive numbers do not speak to that of a third baseman.
You like him?
I like him. I like Michael Garcia. But he's third base and shortstop. He always kind of seemed like a shortstop to me when I watched him play.
Bobby Witt's there.
Either that or he's not on the rest of the list. But that feels disingenuous to him because I think he's like kind of a sneaky
We
pick
actually
for this
believe
year.
he's a quality MLB player. We're excited about him.
I want to do something kind of rude all around.
Yeah?
I was thinking of something that might be rude to everybody.
Jake Burgers, Trevor Plouffe?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Unless we think he's got 70 mil coming. He's 27 years old.
I don't think he turns that down. I think he's Trevor Plouffe, yeah. There's nothing wrong with being Trevor Plouffe, Jake.
Jake Burger had an awesome season.
He had a great year.
Drove by his childhood home.
Needs to show us more. He can get off that line.
But
First round pick, didn't work out for a little while.
he's 27.
It was a white sock.
I don't know if he turns down 70 million.
He doesn't.
No, he's not turning
I don't
down.
thi- yeah, so he's
do we
Trevor
think?
Plouffe.
Do we think he's got that coming to him? One more year.
Let's do some quick ones because I know we're a little bit short on time. Let's go. I think we go ahead and we put all the Reds in Wyman at third base.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I'm okay with that.
And that includes
we just have a lot
current
of Reds.
Nats third baseman Nick Senzel.
Sure.
God.
And I have the rest of the Nationals logo on, not on the rest of the list.
I would put that there
Not
as
on the
well.
rest of the list.
Um,
Although I will root for you, Carter Keyboom. Know that. Always.
I think he was nice at the end of the season.
I have 3 guys left to place.
I have a quick one. I don't think there's a real argument against it because I don't think he fits any of these categories, and he's in the news right now for the wrong reasons. I have Anthony Rendon not on the rest of the list.
I was considering having him be Trevor Plouffe.
I was open
And
to
then I
Trevor
thought-
Plouffe, which was a super compliment to Trevor Plouffe.
Yeah.
Kind of
But I also have that as the one thing we could do that would like get Trev texting us like, "Why'd you do that?"
So how about this? Eugenio Suarez. I got 70 mil.
Turns down?
No.
I got 70 mil. Yeah, that's fine.
A $66 million contract.
That's
He will get. He will get.
Who would you rather have, Key Bryan or Eugenio?
Right now, Kebron. But I like them both for different reasons.
But probably Eugenio over McMahon and Moncada?
Definitely.
I think McMahon's closer than the
I
experts
think you just love Ryan McMahon.
I think it's closer than the experts. I think you want to be friends with
Ryan McMahon.
Anthony Rendon could be replaced by Matt Chapman. Made me giggle. Oh my God. I don't know.
That's really funny.
If they sign Matt Chapman, wouldn't he play?
It's the Angels too. They're spending like drunk
I've
sailors.
got a Brewers guy and a Cubs guy. Who am I looking at?
I don't know which
Jamer.
Cub you've got. The Cub you've got is probably Nick Madrigal. I have that we have to place Rendon and Andrew Monasterio. Monasterio could be replaced by Matt Chapman.
Yeah, that's
Andrew
fine.
Or is why am I at third?
Yeah,
but
let's
that
put him at could be
category is
replaced by
third.
Matt
like that.
Chapman. Just
The Brewers, you can do that.
so that's
You just
Jamer
gave
in a
Reeser
Cubs
some
hat.
money.
That's what I
Jamer and a
missed.
Cubs hat.
Jamer and a Cubs.
I have
hat.
Michael Garcia. Why am I at third base?
Okay.
Yep.
I have that.
Okay, I'm going
So-
Rendon could be replaced by Matt Chapman.
Yeah,
Doesn't want to play. I mean, that's a little clickbaity.
that is a little clickbait.
But how good of an Angels move would it be if Matt Chapman signed with the Angels?
It would be hilarious. It would be the funniest thing ever. And then, did we place Jamer?
I think he's in that Why Am I at 3B.
Jamer, I currently put at why am I at 3B because he's a Cincinnati.
But if he's
Red.
not in a Reds hat, I don't want him on the list. I only want all Reds.
Yeah.
So is he Trevor Plouffe?
Yeah.
He's Trevor Plouffe.
He's better than Trev. Jamer's got some
He just
nice
hasn't. He hasn't been.
Hey,
he hasn't been that good that
He was
long.
non-tendered.
Right.
2 years ago.
He
3
was
years
a
ago?
Nats reclamation project. He looked like he was done.
I mean, I think he's playing a lot of first base. I'll let you do whatever.
Wait. I have something that I can figure this out.
What's that?
He has 10 WAR. Trev has 7 WAR.
Jamer's like
Gonna play.
just got a nice
Yeah,
contract.
never mind.
He's
That
getting to 10 years.
feels rude.
70 mil for Jamer. I don't think he's getting there. I think Jamer's off. I think he's
Yeah.
playing first.
Okay.
So and I like at the end of my Why Am I at 3B, I currently have 5 guys in Reds hats.
Jake, I like where everything landed, but we have a question to answer ourselves. It is Devers versus Bregman. Does one of them graduate? Because I think one of them should. And I think the rest
You want
of this is
Bregman
fine.
on Hall of Fame?
I think Bregman is on a Hall of Fame path. I'm willing to discuss. I know we're crunched on time.
I have Bregman the most on a Hall of Fame path of those 3.
It's 35 WAR before
it's
I'm
a lot of
30, and we've
age.
seen a lot of guys have really good 30s.
It's a lot of age, and he's
And it's just
racking up
Muncy
WAR.
and Devers, dude. That's crazy to Devers.
Put them both there?
Who would, if you had to bet money, DraftKings Sportsbook, on Alex Bregman or Rafael Devers to win the MVP next year?
Oh, that's a really good question.
It's Devers.
It's Devers.
It's Devers, dude. Devers could win like the Triple Crown next year. Bregman can't.
okay.
I think I'm leaving it.
You're leaving it. As it
Manny
is.
and Nolan were made for each other. They have been. It's like a sports people's favorite debates.
Shake your hand.
So we
S tier, J-Ram and Austin Riley. Wow.
Yeah.
Hall of Fame question mark? Nolan and Manny.
Yes.
they're in the accumulating phase.
Wow, 3B is really good. Devers, Bregman, and Max Muncy. Good for
Muncy
you,
landing
Max
WAR?
Muncy.
Actually, I like that so much more as a trio.
Yeah.
If we had put Muncy in turns down 70 mil, which I think he would.
Per usual, Boston and Houston fans will be not happy. Turns down 70 million. Young, Royce Lewis, Gunnar Henderson, Matt Chapman, and Isak Paredes.
I
so
love
the
it.
young,
That, I think, became my favorite
the
category.
young studs and Chappie. I got 70 mil. Key Bryan, McMahon, Moncada, and Eugenio Suarez. Trevor Plouffe is Patrick Wisdom and Jake Berger.
Yep.
Could be replaced by Matt Chapman. Boom. JD Davis. Beatty, Urias, Monasterio, and Rendon. Why am I at third base? DJ, Veerling,
many
IKF, Kevin Biggio, who's been praying to be IKF's been praying to be at third base.
Right.
Nick Madrigal, Michael Garcia, a bunch of Reds, and not on the rest of the list, A's and Nats. We have to wrap it up here
Is IKF
today.
just not on the rest of the list? Is that the meanest thing ever?
Yeah, I can't do that.
Okay.
Can't do that. Thank you to Jolly Olive. Tell us if you like this list, what you'd like to change next time. Maybe nothing.
Who should the next position be that we do?
Leave a comment down below and subscribe.
Subscribe. We thank you guys. Go Sports.